Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I am Conrad. This is the 45, taking a look at upcoming UEFA Champions League group stages. Next up, Group E. We've got Sevilla, Chelsea, Krasnodar, and Rennes. Sevilla and Chelsea with the most recent success in Europe. Sevilla coming off of a Europa League champion campaign. That's how they qualified. Chelsea having won this before. This group is wide open if you can score.
Yeah, I think for Sevilla are one of my favorite teams in all of Europe to watch. Chelsea are very exciting because of the revolution they're undergoing under Frank Lampard. And Krasnodar and Rennes are both two newer sides onto the scene. Rennes, one of their first campaigns at Champions League, and Krasnodar, just a new club in general. And as you mentioned, a lot of parity in this group, and I think that there's a good chance for a group to come out when we look after the 6 matches. Wow, one of those guys really surprised us. And probably Rennes or Krasnodar will look at this and say, who knows? Those two are teams that are kind of a bit volatile. They're not the bona fide superstars in other groups. So it's going to be a great group.
First up, Sevilla, obviously kings of the Europa League. They've done some tremendous work here. Not a lot of success in the Champions League, often winning or doing well in the Europa League following the relegation, if you will, after not qualifying for the knockout stages. Right now, they're 10th in La Liga. They've only been able to play 4 out of their 6 matches. But they just don't look all that good. They did draw with Barcelona, was kind of their high point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Sevilla, are a very interesting side. I think that they're they've kept a lot of their pieces from last season. They bring in Ivan Rakitic. I like him a lot. He's a player with a lot of experience. You kept your center back duo of Koundé and Carlos. Luke de Jong scoring that really annoying goal for Manchester United fans in last year's Europa League campaign. So they've got an interesting side. You add Suso to that, Oscar Rodriguez. You have some nice pieces. Still very early on in the season. Tough to say if they're going to continue what was a good season last year. 4th in a European title is very good, and the SPI gives them a very good chance of qualifying from the group, and also a outsider's dark horse kind of chance to win the whole thing if they can fill into their potential. But that's the big question: can they fill that potential?
Next up, Chelsea. Defensively, a total train wreck. They cannot stop anybody, but they can score in boatloads. And just by looking at their transfer business, you can see what their focus was. Score, 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 not so much worry about defending. And the 7-1 loss to Bayern in last year's Champions League,
yeah.
I mean, it just shows you just the problem that Lampard has on his hands.
I think Lampard does have some questions to answer. He's not been the most tactically astute defensively out of managers in Europe in general, considering how much has been invested in that squad. This is vital. If they fail to qualify out of this group, I don't want to say an easy group to qualify out of, but you have to. It's a must qualify out of, especially when you look at those numbers. Havertz, Werner, Chilwell, Ziyech, Mendy, players didn't even make that. Also Thiago Silva on a free. So many new players. All you have to incorporate. But if you're Chelsea, you have to be demanding at the bare minimum qualifications they can place. Anything else is a failure for Chelsea.
Next up, Krasnodar. It's an interesting story. This club has only been around since 2008. They secured promotion to the top level in the Russian league in 2011, and they've pretty much been in Europe for the last 4 or 5 years. Granted, only been in the Europa League, but they did win their group in 15-16, a group that consisted of Dortmund. They advanced to the round of 16 over Fenerbahce before losing to Celta Vigo. Similar in 18-19, they beat Leverkusen and then losing to Valencia. So this is their first trip to the Champions League. They don't score a lot, and I think that's a little bit of a problem anytime you get in here. But again, they're facing Chelsea twice, so maybe that's okay.
Yeah. They will be allotted quite a few chances to score some goals against Chelsea. The big question is, can they handle the offensive prowess that Chelsea bring? And for Krasnodar, it's tough to say where their aspirations will lie. Will it be on that 3rd place spot and just going back into the Europa League and continuing European competition? Who knows? The early matches will be a big indicator if they can continue in some good form and get off because the matches come in thick and fast. You get in a good vein of form. We've mentioned a couple times. There's a chance. Outsider's chance, 18%, but a chance nonetheless.
Finally, in Group D, Rennes, 3rd in the league right now, only one of 2 unbeaten teams next to Lille. Don't know what to expect from them. They only played in 28 matches last year, scored 38, conceded 24. Not a great form, but they've got a brand new front trio.
Yeah, those 3 transfers, those big 3 ones, brand new front 3. Two of them usually start week in, week out. And Eduardo Camavinga is a player I really like. 17 years old. He has the potential to be one of the best midfielders in the world in just a year or a couple years' time. So they'll be a very exciting team to watch. Question of if it's their year just yet. They may be a year or two off their trajectory still. But it's going to be interesting if they're going to be able to get one or two good results against the big boys, Chelsea and Sevilla. Who knows? Maybe a big upset could be happening in Group E.
All of that said, looking at our tables, we have it going pretty much as the pots dictate. With Sevilla, for me, top of this group. But it all depends on whether Chelsea can actually keep the ball out of their own net. Well, that'll do it for us for our quick look at Group E for the upcoming UEFA Champions League group stages. That is Jack. I'm Connor. This has been the Footy 5. Please do tell us what you think in the comments, and as always, we ask you to please subscribe. Look for us on the Twitter at the Footy 5. Take care now.